So we are all aware of Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to the White House. The mainstream media is talking about it. It is everywhere. But before we talk about the details of Zelensky's visit to the White House, I want us to watch this video. Out of 40 people being taken to the front lines, 30 of them, they don't run, leaving only 10 in a bus. Remember or note, the bus was full. Watch the video.
Був повний автобус, осталося як до передка, на 10 чоловік осталося, доїжджає. Було на 40 чоловік, осталося 10.
So that is the reality. The Telegraph, I think about 4 days ago or 3 days ago, the Telegraph posted an article very similar to this. Over 400 Ukrainian soldiers ran away from the front lines. This is happening because the reality is on the front lines, things are actually not going well. And the younger generation don't actually care much about this war. Unlike when the war began. You know, when the war began, there were a lot of noise in the media. So some people willingly wanted to fight for their country. But this time around, some people have realized that, look, they are not fighting for Ukraine, they are actually fighting for somebody else. By the way, let's put that aside and dive into the details of Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to the White House. So Ursula von der Leyen just this afternoon, she posted on her, by the way, those of you who don't know who Ursula von der Leyen is, she is European Union President. She just posted on her Telegram channel, sorry, not Telegram, on X, that she will be accompanying Volodymyr Zelensky to the White House. But the Americans are not happy with this idea. I don't know why. By the way, she will not be going alone, according to several reports that I have read. Either Keir Starmer, UK Prime Minister, or France President Emmanuel Macron, maybe two of them will accompany Volodymyr Zelensky. By the way, the Europeans are not happy with Trump move, right? They don't want this whole ceasefire thing, to be honest with you. They don't want a situation whereby Russia will get a chunk of Ukraine. They have said it openly. Yesterday I read their press statement here on this channel for you. By the way, if you have not yet seen that video, please you can scroll through the channel, you will see it. So let me read the letter from the White House. This is what the White House is saying, or this is what is going to happen if Volodymyr Zelensky finally visits Donald Trump in the White House. Initially, Trump wanted to meet only with Zelensky. European leaders will not be allowed to primarily negotiate. So this is what the headlines is saying. Although Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky is accompanied in Washington by several heads of European states and governments, the EU President and NATO Secretary General, escalation of relations with US President Donald Trump cannot be ruled out. Bild has learned from government sources that Trump will first meet only with President of Ukraine. Only then will the accompanying EU leaders join him. A working dinner, and okay, well, I don't think this one is important. So that is what the post says, actually. So this is from Sputnik. Very good. So this is what is going to happen. So in the White House, President Trump is only going to meet Zelensky one-on-one. Then they discuss. After that, he will meet all the European leaders who accompanied Volodymyr Zelensky. I think basically the White House is telling European leaders that we don't want you in this meeting. Stay back. I think they have already anticipated the outcome of the meeting. They've already anticipated that if the European leaders come, they will definitely make negotiations very hard for Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. That is how I see the whole thing, by the way. I don't know how you see it, but that is how I see it. We wish, you know, they find a conclusive deal to this particular war that is currently happening. It is not going to be easy. If you are expecting a ceasefire or an end to this war today or tomorrow, then sorry, that is not going to happen. It is going to take time. That is how I see the whole thing. If you are still watching this video, please consider to hit on the like button. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. By the way, I've told you guys that, you see, the negotiations in Alaska, they didn't tell us exactly what happened, but they are releasing the truth or what actually happened bit by bit to us. So in one of CNN interview with somebody who was actually in the room, I don't know his name, but the interview is there, you can go and watch it. He said in the negotiation, they reached an agreement that Russia will not go after Ukrainian new territories. Russia will not invade another European country, but they didn't actually agree on the territories that Russia has already annexed. So meaning, the territories that Russia has already annexed, the Russians are going to keep it, but the rest, they will leave it for Ukraine. And that is exactly my prediction in the beginning of the war. I told you guys that the Russians were not going to go after all Ukrainian territories. And I gave you guys a lot of examples. I gave you guys Finland invasion in 1939 by the Red Army. The Russians annexed some part of Finland and they left the rest for them. When you look at Russia invasion of, what is the name of this country? In 2008. Putin was not even president by then. It was Dmitry Medvedev. He was the president. He invaded. Please, if you remember the country in 2008, which country did the Russians invade? Please write it down in the comment section for me. Yes. The Russians annexed some part and they decided to leave the rest, you know, for them. So that is how I saw the whole thing from the beginning of the war. But some people were like, Russia will go after the whole of Ukraine, and I said, Russia wouldn't do anything like that, because taking over the whole of Ukraine will be a liability. We have some part of Ukraine who hate the Russians with passion. Even in the Second World War, you all know that Ukrainians were part of the Soviet Union. But there was a guy called Stepan Bandera who actually supported the Nazis. He supported the Nazis to fight against the Russians. And he just didn't do it alone. He did it with ethnic Ukrainians. So most of ethnic Ukrainians, they don't actually like the Russians from day one. So not the whole of Ukraine supported Russia in the Second World War. Some part of Ukraine actually fought against the Russians in Second World War. So Russia trying to take over all these territories is going to be a liability for them. They will be ungovernable. They cannot rule over them. These people don't like them. So they are only going to take the part, or they are only going to take the ethnic Russian speaking side. I said this from the beginning and I was 100% right. By the way, once again, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Shalom. See you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to hit on the like button. I'm out.